The following question reads that glycol used in antifreeze has the molecular formula and a molecular formula is given. I'm going to draw this molecule quickly. It's CH2, and on both sides there is an OH group. So H on one side and OH on the other side. So here is your molecule, and it's saying that it can be oxidized to give a number of products. What is the molecular formula of an oxidation product of glycol that will not react with sodium? Now the first thing is, what does sodium react with? That's the first thing that we need to know. It doesn't react with sodium. So we need to figure out what sodium reacts with. Now if you remember, sodium reacts with two things. One of them is an alcohol. It reacts with alcohol, so there should be no OH groups that are as shown in the diagram. And there should be no carboxylic acid. Both of them sodium is going to react with. Secondly, we're going to talk about the oxidation of these two molecules. What kind of products would be produced? The first thing is we need to classify what type of alcohols these are. Now, if you look at the carbon atoms that are attached to these OH groups, they're attached to two hydrogens, and on one side there's a carbon chain. So these are primary alcohol. This one is a primary alcohol. This other one over here is exactly identical. This carbon atom over here is also a primary alcohol because it's bonded on one side by OH and on two sides there are hydrogen. So when you have an only one carbon chain attached to it. So this one is also a primary alcohol. Now when primary alcohols get oxidized, they change into aldehydes, which then further get oxidized to carboxylic acid. So I'm going to just write RCOOH. This one is going to be identical as well. It's going to change into an aldehyde and then a carboxylic acid. Now I don't want it to change into a carboxylic acid, because if it changes into, if either of the OH groups, they change into carboxylic acids, then sodium is going to react with it, because sodium reacts with carboxylic acids. And I don't want them to remain as alcohols. So the only option is I want them to change into aldehydes so that sodium does not react, because that is what they were looking for. They were looking for the molecular formula of an oxidation product of glycol that will not react with. So the only option that you're left with is that this alcohol changes into an aldehyde and this alcohol also changes into an aldehyde. And this is what I'm going to do over here. So I have two carbon atoms. What is an aldehyde? The OH changes into double bond O. And over here as well, the OH changes into double bond O and H. So it ends up forming an aldehyde on both sides. And the formula of this aldehyde is going to be C2. The molecular formula is going to be C2. And there is H is also 2 and O would also be 2. So this is your answer. And let's see if C2H2 and O2, if that is an option. You can look at option A. That's going to be your correct option for this question.